Good evening, students. In today's video, I am going to discuss a question from Neet 2024 Physics. And let's see the question. A sheet is placed on a horizontal surface in front of a strong magnetic pole. A force is needed to, option A, hold the sheet there if it is magnetic. Option B, hold the sheet there if it is not non-magnetic, and option C says that move the sheet away from the pole with uniform velocity if it is conducting. Option D says that move the sheet away from the pole with uniform velocity if it is both non-conducting and non-polar. Now the question is, choose the correct statement or correct statements from the option given below. First option is A, C and D only. Option 2 says C only. Option 3 says B and D only. Option 4 says A and C only. Let's discuss the solution. The explanation for the question is, first of all, to understand which statements or which statement is or are correct, we must explore the interactions between the magnetic field and different types of materials, that is whether the materials are magnetic, non-magnetic, conducting or non-conducting. Statement A, according to statement A, can say that if a sheet is magnetic and placed near a strong magnetic pole, it will definitely experience a magnetic force due to the magnetic field, and hence this force could either attract or repel the sheet depending upon the charge, that is the polarity of the magnetic pole, and the induced or inherent poles in the sheet, and therefore a force is needed to hold the sheet stationary against this magnetic force, and hence statement A is true. So from the explanation we can say that option A is true, and hence we can eliminate option 2, option 3, because option A is the correct statement, but option 2 says that C only is the correct statement, and option 3 states that B and D only correct statement. Now we have to sort out between A, C and D only, or A and C. That is, we have to finalize whether option 1 is correct or option 4 is correct. Let's look for option B. A force is needed to hold the sheet there if it is non-magnetic. Obviously, this statement would be false, because statement A says that sheet is magnetic, it would hold, and hence if the sheet is not non-magnetic, it will not experience any magnetic force, because non-magnetic materials do not respond to magnetic fields in a manner where a force would be exerted on them, and hence there would be no external force needed to hold a non-magnetic sheet in place near a magnetic pole, and hence obviously statement B is false. B is false. Let's check whether C and D are correct. And statement C states that if a sheet is placed on a horizontal surface in front of a strong magnetic pole, a force is needed to move the sheet away from the pole with the uniform velocity if it is conducting. Now let's see for option C. See, if the sheet is conducting and when we move it away from the magnetic pole, it would definitely experience a change in the magnetic flux through it. And according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, that is EMI, a change in magnetic flux induces an EMF, that is, it induces an electromotive force, and consequently currents known as eddy currents would be formed in the conductor. and these induced currents produce their own magnetic fields which interact with the original magnetic field, leading to a force, which is nothing but this statement of Lenz's law. To move the sheet away with uniform velocity, a force would definitely must counteract this magnetic interaction, and hence statement C is also correct. Let's see for option D. And option D says that if a sheet is placed on a horizontal surface in front of a strong magnetic pole, a force is needed to move the sheet away from the pole with uniform velocity if it is both non-conducting and non-polar. And C, if the sheet is non-conducting and non-polar, it will definitely neither induce currents because it is not conducting, and if it is not conducting, it would never experience any sort of magnetic force because it is non-magnetic as well. And thus, moving such a sheet away from a magnetic pole with uniform velocity does not require overcoming any sort of electromagnetic forces, and hence statement D is false. So what are the statements which are true? Statement A is true and statement C is true, and the correct option is, we should choose that option A and C only are the correct options. So hence option D is also incorrect, and hence option 4 A and C only is the correct answer.